This is something I've always wanted to do. 1, take 12 A and B cameras.
Britain's most successful girl group of the moment, Eternal, have been packing dance floors up and down the
Eternal
country.
are telling boys to back off. The sassy foursome say they've no time for lovin' with their third smash single burning up the network chart. Esther, Bernie, Lou...
Once upon a time, there was a guy named Dennis Inglesby, and...
He found Bernie, and I introduced him to Esther, and...
I met him in a club and introduced him to Kelly.
And Eternal was born.
I had the sound that I wanted. I just had to put the faces. And it was relevant to me that all these girls could sing.
It's all right. You don't have to worry. You're gonna love what you hear.
I met Louise first in a nightclub, just dancing away. I asked if she could sing. And she was 15 then.
My mum was like, oh, that's an old one, Louise.
Yeah, I mean, I had to go and see their mum. I had to go to church with them. I had to do all the things that a dad would do, I suppose.
We had time to get to know each other, to feel comfortable with each other, so that, you know, we were strong and as a group before we went out, you know, and to perform in front of an audience.
We actually had a year to get together and to know each other and to not sign any deals, just find out if this is what we really wanted to do. And then only when the four of us actually sat down and said, yeah, we want to do this, did we actually go ahead and start it as a proper career. But every group has to be manufactured to a certain extent, because you can't be four normal young girls off the street go out there and all of a sudden have multi-stardom and be getting top 10 hits in every country. You have to have people behind you. You have to have people saying, well, you can't go on stage like that because it doesn't work. You have to be something different. So anyone, anywhere, who is doing something successful is manufactured to a certain extent. It's just life.
Stay, stay.
We were just grateful to be working with anybody at that stage. You know, we was new coming out, we was working on our album, and every producer we went in to work with, we looked upon as, you know, we're grateful to be here and doing this.
It was all a mixture. We never went in and felt dominated by any of the producers. They were all on a level where it was like, well, you give your input and I'll give mine, and we'll get the best out of, you know, out of both sides, and that's what we did. You know, everybody had their ideas and put them in. I mean, other producers were more dominant and were like, this is the sound I'd like to get from you girls, and, you know, and their sound was good, so we were like, great, we'd love to go with that idea. And other producers were more willing to, you know, kind of compromise, and, you know, we mixed a lot of ideas together and came up with the best that we could give.
But at number 1, those New Jill Swingers, Eternal.
We were like, Eternal? No, it's got to be Bad Boys or someone else, you know, not us. But so we was chuffed. It was kind of like a magazine that we'd been in during the beginning of the year and the end of the year before Stay and after Stay came out. So to go up there and actually get this award, we was all pleased.
I'd just like to thank all of you for your support, and thank God. Thank you very much.
To relax, we just sort of hang out and chill with our family and our friends and things like that. You know, those are the kind of things that you miss, because being on the road 24/7, it can be a bit tiring, and you miss the home comforts of just having your mum and dad and family around you.
You know, they've been there from the very outset, so they've known what we're like. My mum, like, she's been there to bath me, to burp me, all that. So it's kind of normal, do you know what I mean? She ain't going to treat me any different, and nor do my brothers or my sisters. And I know for the rest of the girls, it's the same as well.
When I do walk the street, I make sure I'm going to a certain destination. Like, I'm coming from A, I'm going straight to B. I'm not stopping anywhere so that no one can catch me on the streets. But I know that it's happened quite a lot to Kelly and Vernie and Louise. But for me, I'm just like straight there, straight back home.
Someone always manages to see me and tell me I'm doing something that I'm definitely not. But yeah, it's okay. Fans seem to be really nice. The fans that we have are really nice people, and they're the kind of people that are more like on the respective level. They're like, how you doing? I really appreciate your music and I really like what you're doing. And we're like, oh, thanks. And that's it. And then they leave you alone. And so it's not really a hassle. It's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Did Eternal live up to your expectations?
They were better, way better than we thought they'd be. They were really, really great.
Right.
We really enjoyed it.
And how did you feel when you finally got to meet them and give them a cuddle and
It was
stuff?
so cool. I grew and I was like, it was really, really, it was cool. Yeah, really, really cool.
I think the place that's played the most impact in my mind is New Zealand. For all, it was a lovely country. It was really pretty over there. The people were really nice. But we also played at a school over there, an all-girls school, and it's a school where a lot of Maori people go. And instead of us going there just to perform and do our performance for them, they actually did a performance for us before we went in, and it was amazing. It was so touching. They sang, they did Maori dancing, and I think all of us, it was amazing. Never seen anything like it. They hadn't heard all of our songs before. They'd maybe heard Stay a little bit. And to actually get us to go to the school, they'd won a competition and writing a poem about why we should come to the school.
Eternal is the flyest group around. With the fattest beats and the coolest sound. Their beautiful voices and their finest style. Make everyone dance, hip hop and smile. Their visit down under with a concert up for grabs should surely be won by Auckland's daughters' eggs. They should perform at our school because they'll get the biggest reception and the greatest applause. If Eternal performs at our school, it will mean that they'll see the most multicultural people there are to be seen.
But they gave us such an amazing reaction. It was the best audience ever.
Here we go.
Let's go. Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, baby, let's go. Tonight, let's go. Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, baby, you're gonna love what you hear. Baby, you're the one I need tonight. And I wish upon a star. Don't you know that all the time I dreamed about you? And baby, I can give you what you want now, boy, tonight. Oh, baby, I'm not like all the rest. I really care for you, baby.
It was very exciting because for all of us, I think the first thing was we were all going to America, which for Kelly, she'd been to America, but not to actually New York, if I'm correct. So we were all excited, and I was in the studio like 3 days before we went, and Nigel Lewis was telling us all the stories and how to be careful and don't look like we're tourists. Don't look up in the sky like this. Keep your money in a safe place where no one can get it, and it's like nearly impossible for you to even get your money when you want to spend it. But we were just really looking forward to it. And then when we actually got there and we started the work, the first time we went was there for like 11 days. And believe we worked 11 days. It was like early in the morning till late at night, and like we got up, we was out like from 9 and we were back at 4, and then that went on for the full 11 days, and we were like, Dennis, we need a break, kind of thing. But we really enjoyed ourselves. I think the reason why we kept going was because we were so much on a buzz. It's the first time being there, first time being in a group together and going out recording with different producers. We was really on a buzz. It was nice.
'Cause it's just a step from heaven and the strength of
really good because at first we'd go into a radio station and they'd play the song, go, oh, we have Eternal, and then we'd sort of say hi, how you doing, and hello, and they'd go, oh, you're English? So yeah. And so some radio stations and people we met didn't even realise that we were English, who had just sort of listened to the music, hadn't read up on the group. Then obviously others had read up on the group and they were like, so what's it like being over here in the States and all the way from England, and how's your success everywhere else? But
The Americans are more on the style of music you're into and how good you are. So
Yeah. It's all about talent and not where your talent is from. As long as you've got it and you put it down on vinyl, and then they hear it, that's what they accept. They don't accept, you know, what your image is or whatever. That'll come second, which is so nice that they actually concentrate on the music before everything else. So that was a big bonus for us.
Tell me that we still belong. Tell me that the will is still alive. There must be another chance for us tonight. 'Cause everyone who's walked upon trouble or lies become anger. We can be the lucky ones and find love after the storm. Don't let go, 'cause it's just a step from heaven, and the strength of love is on our side. Soon you'll fly, then our faith will take us higher, 'cause we're just a step, baby, just a step from heaven. We don't need to justify our emotions. We don't need to worry. There's a way, hold on. There's a bigger destiny that was made for us. So don't let troubles bring you down. Believe in the foundation of our love. Can't you see my faith in you is forever and more?
I think every country had its different reactions, not just America, because I think a lot of people think America, they think black kind of thing. But every country had its stigma, every country had its different way about it. I mean, some countries would say to us, what does it feel like to have a white person in the band? Or they'd say to Louise, what does it feel like to work with 3 black people? Which I personally feel is a very stupid question, because it's like, if you go to school, you have friends. You have white friends, you have Asian friends, you have black friends. So what's the difference with working to someone and having a friend?
Questions, we've had in an interview, do you hit Louise? It's like, or do you hate Louise? No, in fact, he said, do you hit Louise? And I said to him, do you mean hate Louise? He goes, no, do you hit Louise? I was like,
Why?
next question.
There's no other love like this.
Which one?
Wait, you look so fine.
Looking at you for sure.
You weren't looking at me.
So,
Cherry kisses on a summer's day. You're the only one who makes me feel this way. My heart's on fire when I think of you. You stay on my mind, sweet like honeydew. I need you, baby, like a flower needs the rain. There's nobody who can make me feel the same. Sweet, you're mine. Baby, you're the one who makes my heart. You're my sweet, okay, you know you're the one who makes my heart.
Recently, we've been to Japan and other parts of Southeast Asia, and I think Japan's got to be...
it's because she got that high-tech gear.
No,
Yes,
Japan...
she did. She got this camera. Like, I've never seen a camera like this before. It's like, does everything. It's instant everything.
It is a
Instant
good
flash,
camera.
instant picture, everything.
you
There's
have
no
the
going to
picture.
the shop to develop it. It's just done for you. It's a really wicked camera, actually. She got some good shots.
But they only pose for me now because it's instant. I mean, if they have to stand around for ages, they'll like, see you later.
I can remember the time when I first tasted love. It tasted so good, there just wasn't enough. Since you entered my life, things could never be the same. No, and if ever you left me, there'd be everlasting pain. 'Cause you said to me that our love would last forever. But it's plain to see that something has happened that I can't ignore. 'Cause you wanna walk, I want to walk. Don't you turn back. Don't you turn around. Don't you say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't you turn back. Don't you turn around. Don't you say goodbye. I'm not begging you, baby. Won't you reassure my feelings?
You know I like this.
Something I wanna hear. And if you can't, oh no,
Oh, do you remember
yeah.
we tested all
We
those
tested
cakes?
all those cakes,
We did
yeah.
a photo shoot where we had to eat the cakes. It was so nice.
I was meant to actually just take one bite out of them all, and
And taste them.
they were gone.
She was like, they were good. They all got 10 out of
We
10.
had time to analyse them properly.
Your love, baby, is so sweet and good to me. Yeah, I can give you all my time if you say that you'll be mine. When your arms are around me and you're holding me so tight, my life is nothing without you. I can't do without you. If there's a place in your heart we could share, we could both be there together. 'Cause you give me so much joy, and that should be spared for just me and you. It'd be good, so good if we could come together. Could be good, so good if we could last forever. Could be so good if we could come together. Ooh, tell me, baby, can I hold you close tonight? Moving nearer, hold me tight. 'Cause you make me feel so right. You know our love gives me peace of mind. 'Cause it's so divine, it's specialized. 'Cause you give me so much joy, one that should be spent for just me and you. Could be good, so good if we could come together. Could be good, so good if we could last forever. Could be so good if we could come together. Gonna get it 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 If there's a place in your heart we could share, we could both be there together. 'Cause you give me so much joy, and that should be spent for just me and you. Could be good, so good if we could come together. Could be so good, so good if we could last forever. Could be so good if we could come together. Could be good, so good if we could come together. Could be good, so good if we could last forever. So good if we could come together. Could be good, so good if we could last forever. Could be good, so good if we could come
I think every performance, to a certain extent, they're different and they're the same because you want to give a good performance, the best that you can do, and you want to make sure that people out there are enjoying themselves. But every crowd is different, so at the same time, if you can feel what that crowd's feeling, then you're going to sort of treat them in a different way.
How are you? Are you fine? He's looking mighty fine.
Maybe not better than the last one, but in order for them to understand where you're coming from, you treat them in a different way.
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey.
But at the same time, you want to give them the best, and you want to make sure they get the best out of the day.
We're going on now. Good luck. See you soon.
Hiya. Still have a watch.
I'm bound to make a mistake.
I'm bound to get halfway through a number and need the toilet. Before we go on stage, we do exactly the opposite to what most bands do, which is get themselves all hyped up. We calm ourselves down and make sure that we're focused by praying and giving thanks to the one who brought us this far, which is God. We like to come collectively together and say our prayers and give thanks for whatever special that's happened that month or that day. I mean, maybe he's brought us 1,000 miles to this audience, then we'll say thank you for bringing us there. Or whatever's going on in each other's lives, in the individuals' lives, then we'll say thank you or help us to get through the next stage and to give pleasure to our audience that we're about to perform in front of.
All right, well, enjoy it, okay? And have a real... Give it everything. Have a great time.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise. You will be my song. For it was grace that brought my liberty. My liberty. I never knew just one cross came. 'Cause he loved me so. He loves me. Hallelujah. My thoughts and soul, my need. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
I think we had 2 days, was it, girls, to learn So Good. And I'm not a dancer, it takes me ages, so I had not had the routine down. We were doing the Royal Variety Show, and behind the set, I mean, all through rehearsal, I was getting it wrong. There was not a section that I got right all the way through rehearsal. And then, like, behind this, the curtain, it was just, like, a couple of seconds before we had to go on, and we had this guy run behind stage, and there's me going, yeah, I think I've got it down, and he's like, can I get a picture?
When it, like, the clock hits 5 and I know I've got to be out of my house, I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Oh, not today.
You go away for a long time and you've got suitcases and you're tired and you have a good day one day and then the next day you get homesick and then the next day you're tired again, and all them kind of things build up for me and get me thinking, what am I doing?
And this one time we were in the studio and we were all really, really tired because we'd been rehearsing all day long. And everybody was stressed and everyone was tired, and the more we were working, the more it was going wrong. And I was just like, this. If I don't get my harmony right, I'm just gonna shoot myself. You know, I was just like so mad. I just wanted to go home and say, forget this. I just can't do this. So you forget that there are so many other things that you do, you know, that make the job so worth it.
You'll have to go out there and do one good performance and it go well and you forget all of that.
Nobody knows the troubles I see. Nobody knows but you. Nobody knows.
When I was younger, I would say to my mum, "But Mum, I want to wear big clumpy boots and da da da." Mum would be like, "But you're a girl, Kelly, you know,
My
and
mum
whatever,
still says that.
and you're supposed to dress in a feminine type way." And we'd never been that way. We'd always been, well, I like my boots and my jeans and whatever and my dungarees. So that's our kind of way.
I think inwards, our personalities come over as sexy, but we don't necessarily have to dress that way. He flicks his eyebrows. We don't necessarily have to dress that way in order to show that we are sexy girls. We are still girls, you know what I mean?
I'll be there for you, baby. I'll be there. I'll be there for you, baby. I'll be there. I'll be there when things are blue. I'll be there to comfort you. For you, boy. I'll be there to hold on to. I'll be there when things are blue. I'll be there to comfort you. I'll be there to hold on to. I'll be there. I've waited for you such a long time.
the music business isn't straight cut. It's very cutthroat, as a lot of people know and say. So if you believe in, you know, your religion and yourself, then you can get through a lot of things that go on from day to day.
In a sense, I'm not going to tell you how you should feel about God, or let's go to church, or let's get saved. All of us are not like that. We feel that religion is a personal thing for us.
So I couldn't quite reach the
Are we going for that bit, yeah?
The taller I become, the further you take my rights away, the faster I will run.
All done now. Should put some harmonies on the first bit, I think.
Go over it again. So you guys... The bossiest.
It depends on what you're actually doing.
What?
Because Kelly's very hot on getting things right when it comes to dance-wise, and Vernie's like very hot on getting things done when it's singing-wise. So it depends on what position you're actually in and what we're doing at the time.
Argue seems like a harsh word to me. We don't kind of argue, we'll discuss. That's how we tend to deal with things that we disagree with. I mean, we're four individual people with our own morals and standards of life, so when those are brought together, you know, there are kind of things that don't fit.
Away, no matter, 'cause something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, 'cause you're doing me wrong, so wrong. I thought that my pride was gone. Oh no.
When we're not working, we'll write down our ideas and things, because that's what we're planning to do for the next album, get more into the writing and even into the producing of the next album. We want to get more involved with our music and have more control on what goes down on vinyl and what goes out. So that's what we're planning for the next album. But we're not planning to change the direction. We're going to stay in the same direction we did this time, and that's just recording the songs that we like and the music that we like and things like that.
And picking the best ones.
That's right.
The higher you build your barrier, the taller I'll become. Sing, 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 yeah. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, 'cause you're doing me wrong, so wrong. I thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
We actually feel that everything we do is for a reason. There's nothing that actually happens around us that we feel just happens. And that's probably what our philosophy is. Everything we do, there's a reason for it, and, you know, we're grateful for it.
And for those who want to be like us, keep trying.
Yeah, we always say love what you do and do what you love.
Definitely.
I feel the touch of your hand, and I understand how much I need your love.
secrets I'll keep. They're safe here with me. My arms will comfort you. There'll be no river too wide, no mountain too high. My heart will follow you. For as long as we're together, I will cherish this everlasting love. Oh, baby, I need you so. You know that I can't let go. I can't let go. Always and forever. I just want you to know I wanna be where you are, no matter how near or far. I wanna be the only one who can open the door to your heart. Baby, let me be the one. There may be times the rain will fall, but I won't mind it if you're here with me. Oh, we'll get by, and through it all, we'll have all of the love that we need. Oh, baby. My darling. For as long as we're together, I will cherish this everlasting love. Oh, baby, I need you so. You know that I can't let go. Always and forever. I just want you to know I wanna be where you are, no matter how far. And I wanna be the only one. Open the door. Oh, baby, I need you so. I need you so. Always and forever. I just want you to know I wanna be where you are, no matter how far. And I wanna be the only one who can open the door. Open the door. I'll be the one. Oh, baby, All my life it seems my line has been set, and it's time I'm gonna play to win. 'Cause here you are right at my fingertips, gonna reach right out and pull you in. It doesn't matter what you do, I simply gotta make you mine. And even though I cry for you, I can never break the tie. Doesn't matter what they say, I just can't get enough. Doesn't matter anyway, I'm never gonna give you up. Never gonna